Hi, and welcome to my channel again. Here is Matteo. So, today I just want to share my 365-day experience of daily meditation. It's a big event for me because it's actually today, and I just want to show you and share with you the experience I had and why I came to the decision of doing meditation, doing it daily, which was the changes that happened in me and what I gained from it in general. I started this practice and around 2 years and a half ago. I was still studying here in Netherlands, and I had this period of 2-3 weeks where I wasn't feeling good and I didn't even know where it started. It was a period where I was alone, it was cold, it was February, and February is known to be depressive, and all those things maybe started from a small idea and they all escalated one after the other one. So if there was a small problem that I was alone or something, my mind created all the story after to follow up, and I wasn't feeling good and I couldn't understand. I was always been the guy, I was enthusiastic about things, and I always enjoy doing things in general. And during that period I was numb completely. All the colors were gray, all the tasty food was without any taste, and I was worrying about anything during the day, and even the further step that I had to take were full of worry and anxiety. So I started to look for why I had this and why I wasn't feeling that good or what was going on. So I started to search on internet, and of course when you start to search on internet, it's crazy. You're having depression, you're gonna die, etc. You're having all sorts of information, and from all sorts of information I also find meditation. And while in researching, I started to applying it, and the effects were actually pretty crazy. I started doing it for around 3-4 weeks, and after that I stopped. After I did a course of mindfulness, and mindfulness is a bit different things than just sitting down and meditating. It's more bringing aware of what you do every day. But I will discuss this in other videos. I just want to show what happened actually. And after that I started to do it a bit, and I started to see some differences, but it wasn't profound differences. It was just small details. I was more relaxed, more able to do things without worrying too much. A small thing, yes, it changed it a bit, but not too much, Then I stopped because I was feeling better, but it happened again. I wasn't feeling that good, I started again, etc. So I was going in and out with this practice. So I wasn't getting really the results or anything. I was feeling more relaxed, I was feeling more present with me and doing things, but not something that was changing actually a lot my perspective. So after that, a year passed, and I saw actually during other periods that this was really helpful for me, and so I started applying it more. And one day, so 1 year ago, I started saying, okay, I read about it, I created a sort of motivation inside my head, and after that I said, okay, this thing is too important, I have to do it for the rest of my life. And from there I started doing with a different perspective, and I managed to do it until today, and today it's 1 year. So what are the things that changed, and how was the process? Let's say that in general it's not easy also for me to keep something daily, this was the thing to keep daily, because it was not something interesting, let's say. It's not something that's really it's fun or is exciting. It's not at all. And you're sitting down and you're thinking, what am I doing? You know, I'm a crazy guy sitting down on the floor and watching nothing. And you have all sorts of reaction from people, and they all go along with those lines. And what the hell are you doing? You cannot not think, or etc, etc, etc. So at the beginning, it's the hardest part, you know, because you have to start the first months and actually put it as a practice. It takes a month normally to make it as a routine, make it as a part of your day. But after a month and a half, I actually started seeing a lot of changes. I was much more relaxed. I was much more engaged with what I was doing during the day. I wasn't thinking too much about the future or the past, and I was simply more relaxed and happy. As it is. As the present was going, I was more happy. So I started to continue. I continued during the winter, and during all that period, let's say that the process escalated in a different way. I started to have a sort of spiritual path, I would say like that. First, it was more starting to really be aware of myself and more relaxed. So simple changes, because I was changing my perspective. I always have been training my brain before with information and with things to do, and really being at high pace all the time. So sitting down was the hardest thing to do. And since it was the hardest thing to do, it was also the most important, the one who was bringing the most change. And yeah, all this change basically brought me to a different me, I would say. I would say that because I can say now that I'm much more creative. I can focus much more on what I want to. I don't have much chatter in my head. I can actually be present and enjoy where I am with friends or new people or a new event, whatever it is. And the important one, I can cope better with problems, because I don't see anymore things as problems, but it's more like a puzzle, and all those puzzles are helping me to grow as a person. So in general, I don't see much of struggle. I see more something that has to be faced, and I try to face it with the largest perspective I can. And lately, in the last 4 or 5 months, I've been going more deep in this meditation, this type of mentality, perspective, and I've seen a loss of ego perception, an unfolding of my perception of myself as I was before, this person who, Matteo, was doing that, etc. The guy was singing or whatever I was doing. And now, instead of being that person, that character, I'm much more present, I'm much more engaged with my own being, without being someone, but being the self, being something without a mask, without a character. So now I'm much more able to go during my day and do things more than thinking about things. And that's a big difference. In general, I'm able to engage with the present moment, and the feeling of presence, of being here, it's so important, because you can actually realize that life can be joyful all the time, not in the sense of looking for joy or looking for happiness, but more as a contentment thing, more as you already have everything you need, and whatever you have around, it's kind of a playground, and you can play with your reality. And that's a different perspective that makes you more aware and makes you more calm in yourself. So this was a bit my process. I hope it was clear, and I want to know your comment, what you think, if you ever tried meditation, what you think about it, your doubts. Let me know in the comment. I'm looking forward to reply to them because it's something that I'm really motivated about, and I really enjoy sharing with other people. And we'll make other videos in the future on how to have an introduction on meditation, and I hope that this will be helpful for other people to start and engage with their own reality. So see you soon. Bye.